Hi, I'm Audra Burns from Dartmouth Health, and I'm joined today by Dr. Patricia Clerkin, who is the Director of Pediatric Neurosurgery at Dartmouth Health Children's. Dr. Clerkin is going to share some tips and information on how to stay safe on summer wheels. Dr. Clerkin, as New Englanders, we wait all year to have this beautiful weather. It's sunny out, it's warm, so we're having more activities outside. So now that kids are out and about more often, what are the most common injuries that can happen from bikes, skateboards, scooters?
Thank you so much for inviting me. Yes, this is the one of the greatest times in New England. It's nice. Everyone's out. Everyone is enjoying the good weather, huddled in from the winter, although we do have our fair share of activities in the winter. That being said, unfortunately, one of the most common injuries that I see from bikes and skateboarding and inline scooters is a head injury, anywhere from a very mild concussion to a severe traumatic brain injury. And being the pediatric neurosurgeon, I see them all.
And I'm sure I can echo parents or caregivers who might be watching this because I also have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old, both boys. And as a parent, that's the biggest concern is sending them outside and not knowing, they could have a life-changing experience by having an injury by falling off something on a scooter or a skateboard. So that's terrifying. So let's talk about, how they can protect themselves and the important use of helmets and safety gear. So what's your take on helmets, and are there different types of helmets that should be worn for different things like bikes and skateboards?
Helmets. I cannot underestimate the value of the helmet. The helmets have been shown when worn appropriately to reduce the risk of injury, reduce the severity, and dramatically reduce the risk of death when you wear the helmet appropriately when participating in these activities. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a helmet come in with an injured child, and the injured child is fine and the helmet is cracked, and I say the helmet has saved your life.
Yeah, and I think the important part for our viewers watching this video is the fact that a pediatric neurosurgeon at Dartmouth Health Children's is imploring everyone to wear a helmet because they truly work. So I hope that's a key takeaway for our viewers, that they're listening to this advice from you.
The data will tell us they truly work. And I can see that. If I can see you come in and you're fine and your helmet is cracked, I will tell you that that helmet saved your life.
So now let's talk about other ways that they can keep safe. What's your thoughts on elbow pads, knee pads, and proper use of clothing and footwear when they're outside participating on any activity with wheels?
Being a mother as well, I have children, and as much protection as possible. So, we worry about, oh, is this cool? Helmets are cool. All the professional players and people who engage in activities that wear helmets, the $1 million, professional players, they wear helmets. Make it cool, personalize the helmet. So we can't underestimate the value of the helmet. But as far as other clothing, um, good snug fitting clothing to help protect you from any like minor falls from the road rash and the abrasions. Elbow pads and knee pads are also good. Wrist guards when you're riding skateboards. I'm when you are riding a bicycle, the wrist pads might be a hindrance to appropriately maneuvering the bicycle. So maybe not a good recommendation for bicycles, but other than that, in my mind, the more the merrier. The good fitting clothing and long sleeve clothing can also, not only is it good for abrasions, but also good for sun protection. Footwear, I can't underestimate how you need to be stable on your feet. So good, snug fitting, non-slip shoes are important. I can't begin to tell you how many times I see accidents happen from people trying to ride bicycles with flip-flops on and their feet fall off the the bike pedals. So good non-slip shoes are important as well.
I can't tell you how many times I've had to yell at my kids when they're leaving the house in flip-flops trying to get on their bikes. I'm like, get back in here, change it.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved your thought on how making helmets cool by talking to our children about modeling it after the professional athletes that wear them. That's their job and that's what they're wearing. So reminding them that this is just a regular thing that everyone does for safety. And I know one thing that helped too for me is I actually took my kids to the store to pick out their own helmets, because when they were little, I just bought them and that's what they had. But now they're preteen and teen. So having them have the ability to get something that they actually want, that's great advice. So thank you for that. So now let's talk about when they're actually on the roads, on, scooters or bikes, or skateboards even. What can parents say to their children to help keep them safe when they're going to be on a roadway?
First of all, I never would recommend riding skateboards or inline scooters on a roadway. It's just not a safe place. The pavement is uneven. Your visibility may not be that great on the roadway. And there are other places that are safer for skateboards and the scooters. But if you are going to ride a bicycle on the roadway, important, be visible, wear the bright clothing, the reflective gear. If you must ride at night, and I hope most people can ride during the day. If you must ride at night, make sure you have your lights and make yourself very visible. And just keep in mind that you need to follow the rules of the road, just like a car. If you confront a stop sign, you need to stop. You're not, you're not immune to the stop sign. You need to make sure you look both ways and make sure the cars see you just as much as you see them. Don't ride in their blind spots. Ride in single file on the driver's side of the correct side of the road, on the driver's side of the road. Yeah, just make sure that you're visible and make sure that you do follow the rules of the road, and that would keep you very safe. Because that's where drivers expect other people to be, and and hopefully that's where they expect cyclists to be, not coming opposite way or ignoring stop signs and other rules.
I think that's so important. I think that that's an often overlooked important piece of information that we don't always share with our kids, that as we're driving, they see us stopping in our car, they see us using a blinker to look both ways, but we don't often translate that into the road side of it when they're out on their bikes and skateboards. And so thank you for that advice, and thank you for all of this incredible information today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For more information on health and safety tips, visit chadkids.org.